So you're probably wondering why my skin looks like I've been slapped by a jellyfish. What I had done to my skin is something called CO2 fractional laser. And this is quite a efficacious treatment for getting better quality surface of your skin, removing damaged skin, and also removing some of your acne scarring, which, considering I'm in my 30s and I had a lifetime of acne, there's going to be a bit of that. So I'm going to get into a time machine and go a week later from this point. Whoa, jeez, oh my god. Oh, that was crazy. So here I am about 8 days after that, and I think you can see my skin is mostly recovered. I'm not like, the spy in Team Fortress 2. Now, the question is, did this improve my skin? Did using an ablative laser on my skin actually do anything positive? Looking at my before and afters, looking at like a picture I took, you can kind of see there's a few micro acne scars that I've had on my face for a while. You can see there's a bit of uneven texture, a bit of fine lines on my face. And by the way, this is in like the most unflattering I guess lighting you could have. This is downward lighting, and I'm trying to like show what my skin looks like in the most unflattering way possible, so you can kind of get a view of what's going on. And this is me after. Yeah, quite a dramatic difference, right? And I know what people are going to say, right? People are going to say, okay, well, that you're not in the same atomic position that you were in, and the lighting's slightly different, or whatever, right? Like, and I tried to take photos, of like, slightly different angles and positions in the room and whatever, right? And I just could never get my skin to look as bad as it did in the before pictures. So I don't know what to say. I think, Occam's razor at this point is, this did improve my skin. Yeah, you can see quite a dramatic difference when it comes to the reduction in like acne scars, uneven texture on my skin. It looks like things just kind of got cleaned up a bit. And that's kind of what the point of it is. A CO2 fractional laser, the point of it is that you're basically superheating your skin so that it vaporizes the outer layer of your skin, including some of the junk skin cells that have accumulated over the years. So like bits of like, bad skin from like micro scars. And if you had acne, you're gonna, have some of this like I did. I've had acne for about half of my life, right? There's probably a bunch of this bullshit that, got removed from my skin, so, or at least reduced, so that's quite a good sign. And your skin surface is something that I don't think looks maxers talk about too much. Like, it's all about collagen and elastin, and don't get me wrong, that's like a big component to your skin's quality, but for visual quality, getting rid of like some of the junk skin cells that accumulate over time, and resurfacing your skin, I think, deserves to be spoken about. And I think you can see there's quite a decent difference here, right? The thing with a CO2 fractional laser, which is the thing I recommend and what I did, is that it costs like, at least in the West, it costs quite a bit of money. But like where I did it in Bangkok, it was about $300. So, I'm permanently getting rid of a lot of the junk, skin cells that have accumulated on my face. And, for like a few $100, like that seems like a pretty good deal in my opinion. And I think it's worth it. I do absolutely think it's worth it. And I think realistically, you should probably do this like if you've ever had acne in your life, but also just like naturally, just the wear and tear of aging and like, having your skin go through bullshit that life throws at it. You're going to accumulate some uneven texture, some micro scars, and like little bits of like bullshit that accumulate on your skin. You can get rid of quite a lot of that with a ablative laser. In the case of me, a CO2 fractional laser, right? Maybe like once every like 5 years or so, you should probably do something like this. Do some real spring cleaning with your skin. I think it's definitely worth it in my opinion. And by the way, when I was like speaking to the dermatologist, they said that I had very good skin for my age. And I gotta say, if a Asian female dermatologist is saying that you have good skin for your age, that's a pretty fucking good sign. That is a pretty good sign. That's kind of like a black gym teacher saying that you're athletic. I'm sorry, that just means a lot. It just means more than just some random Joe Schmo saying it. And I've posted a few videos of like cosmetic procedures I've done on my Patreon, and it's only like $5 a month. So you can go check that out in the link in the description below. See you guys in the next video.